Today we'll continue with the laws of exponents, and we'll be looking at the fractional exponent law. Fractional exponent. Now, if you have something like a to the power of 1 over y, and then you have a to the power of x over y. Now, if you look at these two expressions, in the first one, I have a fractional exponent in which the numerator is a 1. And the second one, I have a fractional exponent whose numerator isn't a 1. Now, for this, my result will become the denominator of my exponent becomes the root of the base. Therefore, my result becomes the y root of a. Now that's all. Then, for the second condition, I have a fractional exponent whose numerator isn't a 1. So therefore, my fractional denominator becomes the root of the base, so it becomes the y root of a all to the power of my numerator, which is x. Let's solve some problems. Let's take the first problem. If I have 8 to the power of 1/3. Now I have a fractional exponent whose numerator is a 1. So my denominator becomes the root of the base. So my expression becomes the third root of 8. So the third root of 8 will give me 2. Just use your calculator and then you get 2. The next one, I have 8 to negative 2 raised to the power 3. So in this case, I have a negative fractional exponent. So if you look at my previous video, when you have a negative exponent whose base is a whole number, so this negative will be 1 over, then you reproduce everything you have there. So 8 to the power of 2 over 3. So in this case, I have a fractional power now because the negative sign is gone. I have a fractional power whose numerator isn't a 1. So the denominator becomes the root of the base. So I have 1 over the third root of 8 all raised to the power of 2. So I will have 1 over the third root of 8 is 2. So 2 squared will be 1 over 4. Now let's take another question. 3. Let's say we have 64 over 27 all to the power of negative 2 raised to the power 3. Now, if you look at this, I have a fractional base and also a negative fractional exponent. Now, when you have a fractional base and you have a negative exponent, the negative disappears and then the fractional base becomes the inverse. So therefore, my expression becomes 27 over 64 raised to the power 2/3. The negative sign is gone. So now, the next thing, I have a fractional exponent whose numerator isn't a 1. So the denominator becomes the root of the base. So I will have the third root of 27 over 64 all raised to the power of 2. So the third root of 27 will give me 3 over the third root of 64 will give me 4 all squared. So 3 squared will be 9 and 4 squared will be 16. So my result is 9 over 16. So let's take the last question. Now, for instance, let's say we have 0.008 to negative 2/3. Now, if you have an expression like this, the first thing you need to do is to convert or change this decimal to a fraction. If you do that, you're going to get 8 over 1,000 all raised to the power of negative 2 over 3. So always do that. When you have a decimal, change it to a fraction before solving. Now the next thing here, I have a fractional base and a negative exponent. Now, what I said in my previous video, if you have a fractional base and you have a negative exponent, the fractional base disappears. The negative exponent disappears. The negative disappears, and then the fractional base becomes the inverse. So therefore, my expression will now be 1,000, over 8, all raised to the power 2 over 3. Now, there is no negative sign. It has taken care of this. This will becomes the inverse, and then this negative sign disappears. So the next step is that I have a fractional exponent whose numerator is not a 1. So therefore, what I'm going to do, the denominator, the fractional denominator becomes the root of the base. So it becomes the third root of 1,000 over 8, all squared. Now, if I find the third root of, if you punch your calculator, the third root of 1,000 will give you 10. The third root of 8 will give you 2, all squared. So 10 divided by 2 will give you 5 squared, and 5 squared will give you 25. So that is pretty simple. Thanks for watching my video. Always click on the subscribe button so that I can get more videos. God bless you and have a good day. Bye.